What's up, friends? Welcome to Web3 Academy, a place for entrepreneurs, creators, and marketers to explore and learn how to use Web3 to transform business models and create thriving communities. Enjoy this next episode.
GM. What's up, Web3 Academy doers? It is the deep dive. Today, we are deep diving on my top 8 takeaways from NFT NYC. NFT NYC was a couple of weeks ago, and man, it was unbelievable. If you have not been to a conference in person yet, whether it be crypto, Web3, NFTs, really metaverse, anything in the space, highly recommend you hit up a conference as soon as you can, really, mainly because there is real builders, there is incredible people building this space, and you can never take away the opportunity to meet somebody, meet a fellow builder, meet a fellow doer in person, the connection that you make, the opportunity to collaborate and share ideas, and really to just jam out together is so powerful. And I don't think that can be understated. So yeah, get out there, get to a conference if you can, start engaging IRL with Web3 because it is just as important as engaging on Discord and on Twitter and all the incredible spaces that we engage and build online. Quick reminder before I start the show, if you can, please take a moment and give us a review. Hook us up with a 5-star, assuming you enjoy our show. It is greatly appreciated, not just for us and the Web3 Academy community, but further for the onboarding of the rest of the world to Web3. We need to onboard billions to Web3. There's only, about 100 million, maybe give or take, maybe a couple 100 million of us in Web3 and in crypto and in NFTs right now. And that's just scratching the surface. And if we want to onboard more, then we got to get this podcast higher on Spotify and on Apple. So whatever you listen on, please take a minute and give us a rating. That would be much appreciated. One more quick announcement before I start the show is if you want to get involved in Web3 Academy, we are launching a DAO. We are taking the first steps towards launching a token and to building something together. And there is just an incredible group of people that are all coming together around this mission of educating the world on Web3, on building resources and tools for businesses and creators in Web3. And we would love for you to join in. So if you're not already in our Discord, join in our Discord. Links will be in the show notes. If you are in our Discord and you want to join in building the early stages of this DAO, 2 things you need to do. 1, come to our Monday community call. It happens every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern in the Discord, or just send a message to myself or to Kyle or another member, another leader of the Discord, or just post in the general chat. Say, hey, I'm interested in getting involved in the DAO. What can I do? And we will see you there, and we'll link up and get you involved. Because there's big, exciting things happening, and we're looking for those people that want to be involved in the early stages and really building something that we believe is going to impact a lot of people and really help onboard businesses and creators to using Web3 to better engage with their fans, to offer digital ownership, to decentralize their business, to do all the incredible things that Web3 can do for you and your business and your fans. So hope to see you there. Big things happening. Check it out. Okay, so for today's show, I am going to read an article which I wrote, just going to jump into it. I might riff a little bit on and off, but buckle up. This is going to be a good one. Top 8 takeaways from NFT NYC. NFT NYC is the Super Bowl of NFTs. This is what I learned. NFT NYC took place from June 20th to 23rd in New York. A record-setting 15,000 people attended the conference with 1,500 speakers, 7 stages across multiple venues, and hundreds of projects shilling throughout the halls. You would never have known we're in a bear market. Not to mention thousands of apes, doodles, moonbirds, CryptoPunks, clones, etc. If I missed your NFT project, forgive me, that all traveled to New York to attend the 300 plus non-conference events. I'm guessing there was 300 plus, to be honest. Who knows? There could have been thousands. There was an unbelievable amount of non-conference events. One thing was for sure, sleep was optional and the hype was next level. So what were my top 8 takeaways from NFT NYC? Number 1, we are so early. Number 2, token gated this, that, and the other. Number 3, NFTs are so much more than JPEGs. Number 4, PFP projects are social clubs. Number 5, NFT brands are going mainstream. Number 6, bear market? Who cares? Number 7, Web3 knows a lot about friendship. And number 8, half conference, half music festival. Let's get into each one of these and break them down. So number 1, we're so early. I bought my first NFT, which is a llama, for 0.02 ETH in February this year. That's right, just 5 months ago. And I felt like I was late to the party. Soon after that, I aped into a couple of projects because, you know, FOMO. I learned the hard way that making money on NFTs is harder than it looks. Well, this was my first lesson in NFTs. The lessons I've learned since then have been so much more valuable. Prices go up, down, and sideways, but technology is inevitable. Programmable blockchains and smart contracts are going to disrupt every industry, but we're just in the first inning. Scratch that. We're still in practice before the game. 5 years from now, everyone will be using NFTs, whether they realize it or not. But right now, no one has this figured out. I can't stress that enough. Nobody knows the answer, the perfect way to do this. Most panels were called the future of, with experts and top leaders using lots of if and when statements. So the lesson is participate, play, and build. It's the only way to figure it out. Don't wait for the playbook. There is none yet. Get into the game. There's 100, 200 million crypto wallets today, and around 1% of those own NFTs. Estimates are that by 2031, there will be 1 billion wallets. Just by being in Web3 right now, you're setting yourself up to be an expert in 10 years when the rest of the world joins in the fun. In order to be part of this massive opportunity to build a decentralized, permissionless, immutable world, we must all learn the tech. We must take the time to learn the foundations of Web3. Spend less time focused on speculation. Thanks to the bear market for helping with that. Those who want to be part of this revolution, highly recommend you check out our free Web3 lecture series called the Web3 Rabbit Hole. Link will be in the show notes. I can't stress enough how early I realized we are by going to a conference. I think when you're online, you only see the hype. You only see Twitter. Unless you're on there every day, you're only seeing the most popular tweets where people are talking about how much money they've made, how great their project is doing, how much is happening in Web3. When you go to a conference and you sit down at these various sessions and you sit there and there's top leading experts on stage and you realize they don't even know. They don't even have the answers. They're still trying to figure it out. We are so early. Get in the game. Now is your opportunity. Big things are coming. If this grows the way the internet grew from 95 to 2005 was when the internet went from 100 million to 1 billion over that 10-year period. It is projected that we are going to do the same from 2021 to 2031, we're going to have that same growth in Web3. If that happens, just take a second and think about that. Think about how early that means we are right now. Get off the sidelines, get in the game. Let's build together. Number 2 takeaway from NFT NYC, token gated this, that, and the other. Token gated is fast becoming one of the hottest trends in NFTs, and for good reason. It cannot be understated enough how much we as humans care about access. It makes us feel special. Ownership is the most discussed aspect of Web3, and rightfully so. But I would argue that many people, especially those without wallets, value access as much, if not more, than ownership. In order for me to access Moonbirds and Zen Academy, proud hodler over here, I used token proof to obtain token verified event tickets. Moonbirds, for example, had multiple events, some led by the project team, others led by holders with funding from the project. Point for community building in Web3 right there. There was a hot wing eating contest for the Fireheads and a David Blaine performance for the Wizard Hats. Moonbirds was token gating based upon rarities. NFT NYC shockingly did not use NFTs or token gating, just boring old conference badges, which was disappointingly lame. And that's not the only place there was token gating. During NFT NYC, Shopify launched their new product offering token gated commerce. It's just in beta, so the activation of this was pretty elementary in NYC, but the future is very bright here. This enables NFT holders to connect their wallet and access member-only merch. This is huge potential to recognize and reward loyalty. Token holders will be able to connect their wallet in order to access exclusive shopping experiences. Imagine getting early access to a merch drop or exclusive access to limited merch just for you as an NFT holder. Shopify's token gated commerce is currently in beta with some of the largest NFT projects, including Doodles, World of Women, Invisible Friends, and Cool Cats. My advice to business owners and creators, get an NFT into the hands of 100 to 1,000 of your fans now. Give it away for free, perhaps even make it valueless in order to remove speculation and eliminate the pressure that comes with price and speculation. Once in the hands of your fans, this is where the fun begins. I think a lot of businesses and creators are getting caught up in the process of the NFT itself, giving the NFT, the art of the NFT. Here's the thing you need to understand. That is not what this is all about. This tech that we are building, it is not about the actual NFT. In the case of art, yes, it is about the NFT, right? But in the case of your business, or if you're a creator, in the case of your solopreneurship or your entrepreneurial business, it is not about the NFT itself. Yes, it's important. Yes, you should think about it, but it's not the biggest deal. Now, it's different if you are a Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 company. Then you need to be much more thoughtful with the way that you launch a project. But for most businesses, for most creators, you need to get into the game. You need to play. And what you need to understand is, don't get caught up in the NFT itself. Get to the part where you get to reward your fans. You get to give them something. You get to make them feel special. That is huge. That will make them more loyal to you. That will make them want to tell their friends about you. It will make them marketers on the ground, and it'll make them excited about your brand. And here's what you can do. Once in the hands, once you have an NFT in their hands, then you can use token gating. And you can use token gating to offer them access to many things, including a physical or digital event, merch, even just a sticker, a t-shirt, or a hat. I'm wearing my Moonbirds hat right now if you're watching this on YouTube. A private Discord channel, an area of your website with discounts from partners and affiliates, unlockable content such as a song just for NFT holders, or a PDF guide, or a podcast. maybe a Calendly link to book a one-on-one call with you, the founder, with the artist, or maybe to join a group call with you, the founder, with the artist, or with a sponsor or somebody in your ecosystem who your users would have value to. Remember that you will offer many NFTs to your fans over the next decade. I can't say that enough. This isn't like a one and done thing where everyone needs to stop and be like, okay, I'm going to launch one NFT to my fans. It's got to be perfect. No, it's not like that. You are going to launch many NFTs for fans. We're all going to use NFTs in so many ways in our businesses. So don't get stuck on perfect for your first one. You just need to play in the Web3 sandbox. Now, if you need help launching an NFT for your fans or token gating your community, you don't need Shopify to do this stuff. You just reply to this podcast, hit me up in Discord, send me a message on Twitter, myself, Kyle, Web3 Academy, hit us up any way you can, and we will gladly help you and lead you through this process because it's a little bit confusing and daunting, but we want you to start to use this technology. We want you to play in the sandbox, and token gating is a really powerful, powerful tool that I don't even think most people are seeing and realizing yet. Number 3 takeaway, NFTs are so much more than JPEGs. To most people, NFTs are just JPEGs of insert animal, JPEGs of apes, JPEGs of birds. You wouldn't think this after walking through the hundreds of booths repping projects at NFT NYC in sports, fashion, music, real estate, investing, and so much more. There's a deep belief in the transformative power of NFTs to empower creators, connect them to their collectors, foster communities, rethink existing power structures, change how culture creation and ownership work, and bring people with shared goals together while giving them the tools to achieve those goals. It's important to remember that NFTs are not a business. They are a tool for your business. Can't stress that enough. They are a tool for your business. In a music panel I attended with French Montana, a leading hip hop and rap artist, and other top level execs in this panel, they really pointed out the way in which you can use NFTs for music as a tool. So with smart contracts, an artist can deliver a lot more than an MP3, which is really all fans can buy right now. That's the only way they can interact with you and support you, listen to your music or attend your show live. But with NFTs and smart contracts, you can create copywriting licenses, enabling the use of your music in a film. You can offer unique access to your most loyal fans. You can share royalties with those who purchased, say, your first album when you had no fans. You can reward people who attend multiple shows, all while providing them long-term value and ownership, which builds stronger communities. Ownership and engagement build stronger communities. At the end of this panel, one artist predicted that within the next 5 years, a community would write a Grammy-winning song. Now, at first, I kind of laughed at this, as did many people in the audience. But the more I thought about it, I truly believe this is true. Because NFTs can give access to fans to do this, to collaborate, to be part of the songwriting process. Now, if you think this is crazy, I'm willing to bet 1 ETH to anyone that is listening to this podcast. Send me a tweet, message me in Discord. I'll bet anyone 1 ETH that within the next 5 years, a community will write a Grammy award-winning song. You heard it here. Number 4 takeaway. PFP projects are social clubs. Humans are social creatures. One of our greatest needs is belonging. As we move towards spending more time online, we are starving to find our tribe. While many Web2 platforms, Reddit and Facebook groups, have enabled us to build online communities, they've been lacking in many ways. ownership and recognition for contribution being at the forefront, but also the ability to recognize fellow members across online platforms and the ability to recognize fellow members in real life. NFTs change that. We've seen this with the explosion of NFTs being used as avatars in Twitter, Discord, Instagram, Reddit, etc. Now, because you belong to a particular NFT community, you are able to DM pretty much anyone within that community and get a response. You can make connections and network with people that you would have never had a connection to before. NFT NYC showed how much this expands beyond avatars and into real life. On the first day, I met a fellow Little Noun owner because he had a noun sticker on his badge. I saw it and we connected instantly. We shared something in common. He gave me a noun sticker, which I put on my badge, leading multiple people to approach me throughout the week. I also printed my moonbird on a t-shirt, which I wore around the second day. And I can't tell you how many fellow moonbirds that I met as a result of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm holding up my moonbird t-shirt. Just think about how proudly American college graduates wear their merch. The same is happening with NFTs. These brands are not brands in the way that corporate brands are developed, because corporate brands are developed for profit. There's much less excitement to wear a Coca-Cola shirt than there is to wear a Doodle shirt, because NFTs are built by the community. And that cannot be understated enough. Many project leaders recognize this, which led them to host hundreds of token-gated events for their holders. The transition of NFT communities into real life is really just beginning, but there is massive opportunities here. So if you're a community member of an NFT project, you've got to reach out in your community if you want to host an event, whether it be online or in real life. These projects have funding and they are looking for activation. They are looking for their community members to step up and to give them an opportunity to connect with other community members. Also, if you are in experiential, if you're in event marketing, my gosh, you got to get in touch with somebody in the web, with any projects in the Web3 space, because there is big budgets being spent on these events, on these activations that bring community together. Number 5 takeaway, NFT brands are going mainstream. It's time to talk about all the events outside of the actual conference. Honestly, this was where all the cool shit was. My first stop was the Cool Cats experience. And wow, was it impressive. They took a 30,000 square foot warehouse in central Manhattan and turned it into an immersive, family-friendly, carnival-like experience. My fiance and I spent 3 hours there, and it was pure joy the entire time. We collected points using RFID bracelets, which you could then trade in for merch. Well, there was exclusive merch for holders of Cool Cats. What really stood out to me about this experience was that it was clearly targeting the general public, and the response was big. The non-holder line to get in was over 30 minutes pretty much the whole week. Here's Cool Cats attracting non-holders, attracting non-Web3 people into Web3. I'll bet you there was families there who had no idea what an NFT was, because this event was not about NFTs. It was about Cool Cats brand, which is a super family-friendly, approachable brand. Have you seen the Cool Cat? It's adorable. It's so cute. So you can just start to imagine the application beyond NFTs for these brands. Well-funded, a lot of these NFT projects, very well-funded, and focused on branding, because most of these PFP projects are just great art. So they have strong art and branding of which they can build on, and they've got 10,000 fans already. What a great launching point to start from. Illuminati, which is Truth Labs, had one of the most unique and notable events of the week. Imagine a Cirque du Soleil-like experience with like multiple creative performances. And of course, lots of goblins trudging around making goblin noises constantly. Hilarious. But definitely what stood out most about this event was the permanent tattoo station. Yes, people were getting permanent tattoos of Illuminati art. This is probably the best marketing you could ever get for your brand. The passion and energy and enthusiasm that I experienced at NFT NYC cannot be understated. People were pumped. They are fired up. There is this feeling that we are building something that is going to change the world. I believe it's true. I'm sure many of you believe it's true as well. And that is leading to these incredible fans, these like deep, deep fans that are willing to tattoo art on their body permanently. Nouns DAO, which is one of the leading projects in terms of decentralization, and CC0 had dozens of activations and events happening throughout the week. Now, why do they have so many activation events? Well, because they're all created by community members who got funding from the DAO. This is a fully decentralized team, and this fully decentralized team is able to activate in so many different ways. Now, I wasn't able to attend, unfortunately, any of these events, but I did attend one. And the one I attended was put on by NARS DAO, which is a derivative of Nouns DAO, which happened to be on Go Skateboarding Day. They took over a skate park in Manhattan with a couple pro skaters, videographers, and loads of non-NFT people getting in on the fun. Again, an NFT project doing something that has nothing to do with NFTs, and quite frankly, nothing to do with their NFT holders. I highly doubt that there was many NARS DAO holders there. This was more about sharing in the love of skateboarding, which is the mission of NARS DAO, specifically is to sponsor professional extreme athletes. And skateboarding is one of those sports that they sponsor. And I can't tell you, at the skateboard park, there was kids and adults all hanging out because it was Go Skateboarding Day. Perfect. And they were all seeing the Nouns DAO logo everywhere, and they're involved and they're checking it out. It's clear that NFT projects have the potential to become leading global brands. In order to do so, they will need to tap into an audience beyond just the owners of their 10,000 NFT collections. Well, it remains to be seen how big of an impact they can make beyond Web3 native consumers. There were some big steps taken in NYC. Bear market? Who cares? A big question surrounding NFT NYC this year was the sentiment around the conference, considering that ETH was down 70% from the highs in late 2021. And given that most NFTs are on Ethereum, purchased in ETH, that's a big loss for most NFT holders. Mainstream media headlines said NFTs were over. Yeah, thanks for showing up. It's over. Thanks so much. But if anything, the bear market made the conference and made the New York experience better as speculators were washed out. This was a week focused on community building, networking, and growing deeper relationships. I can't tell you how much it comforted me to know how many smart, capable, and powerful figures are backing this tech. While many wondered how many people would show up in NYC, there was a clear response from the tens of thousands of builders and doers. NFTs are here to say, we're not leaving, we're building. Yeah. Number 7 takeaway. Web3 knows a lot about friendship. Friendship. So important. Friendship. Oh, so important to our lives. Now, I haven't been to any crypto conferences, but I'd say it's pretty clear that NFTs are onboarding a new audience of users, including those who stayed away from crypto. There were artists, collectors, crypto natives, corp execs, gamers, beginners, entrepreneurs, and everything in between. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was friendly AF. Literally the most approachable and accessible people I've ever met, regardless of status, regardless of who they are. No doubt that part of that is due to the amount of blue ocean in Web3 right now, as we are so early. But it's also part of the culture of Web3, which aims to remove hierarchical structures built by the Web2 corp giants and tear down the walled gardens that control our data and sell it for profit. The Web3 culture was apparent in every interaction. And this cannot be understated, as in order to build a decentralized, permissionless, and trustless future, we must work together. We must be able to walk up to somebody in a conference and say, hey, how you doing? What are you up to? And literally, that's what I did all day. And that's what other people did to me all day. It was wild. It was actually completely insane how easy it was to make friends and connect with people there everywhere you are, whether you're at the conference, whether you're at events, whether you were on the street and you had some recognizable, whether the conference badge on you or something, there's this immediate connection. And one of the reasons there's such a deep connection is because this is about so much more than money. From the outside, everyone thinks this is about money, and that's quite unfortunate. And thank God the bear market has changed that for a lot of people. And I hope that people are waking up and seeing it. But if you're inside, this is not about money. This is about building a better world. This is about rebuilding the internet in a way that puts ownership back in our hands, back in the user's hands. This is what we need. And people feel that. And that energy leads to incredible connections. The term building with strangers is one that I heard many times in NYC, and I just love it, building with strangers. Now, many teams, I think, were meeting for the first time because you literally meet online. You often are building with strangers, especially given the anon culture of Web3. But the foundational trust that exists in Web3 is special, and we must continue to foster that. Usually at these events, there's the experts and influencers behind a VIP rope when you're at a conference. There's that wall, that gate that we can't get through, right? Or usually when you're at a conference, it's all about either how to make more money in your business or how to save more money in your business. Nobody was talking about money at NFT NYC. I didn't have a single conversation about money, not a single conversation about crypto price. Everybody was talking about what they're building, how we can collaborate, how we can support each other. In Web3, we're all equal. Shout out to all the people that I met at NFT NYC, but more importantly, shout out to all the doers, navigating Discord, welcoming new members, and sharing this space and making it so approachable, because that is what makes these conferences what it is. It starts online. The way we're building this Web3 is we're starting it online. And then when you get to these events and you see this culture in person, my God, it's like it pours out of you. Joy pours out of you in all directions. You shit-eating grin the entire time. You can't stop smiling. It's wild. You want to give everyone a high five. The hype is so real. The stoke is off the charts. Now, while it might seem cheesy, I have always believed that friendship has the power to change the world. I wasn't sure how the online communities of Web3 would translate to in real life, but there is a genuine desire to help support and build together in a way that I have never experienced before in my 20-year career. Final takeaway from NFT NYC: half conference, half music festival. I thought I was going to a conference. Turns out what I went to in New York was much more fun than a conference, and much more than that, way more than I could have expected. Well, we all know that NFTs are building communities online, mostly in Discord, of which I am part of an overwhelming amount, and I'm sure many of our listeners are as well. I didn't know the extent to which NFTs are building communities in person and doing it with the biggest celebrities and artists in the world. Jimmy Fallon was spotted at Ape Fest, and not behind some VIP area, just out in the open. Here's a list of just a few of the artists that performed during the week. Madonna performed at World of Women. Chainsmokers did a surprise performance at Doodles, along with a pre-recorded Pharrell cameo. Pharrell was also announced as the chief brand officer for Doodles. David Blaine did a performance for Moonbirds. Tame Impala also performed for Moonbirds. At Ape Fest, Bored Ape Yacht Club's event, listen to this list: Snoop Dogg, Eminem, The Roots, Questlove, LCD Sound System, Haim, Little Baby, Future, Timbaland. And that's probably not it. I'm probably missing a few. Zoo and Lupe Fiasco performed as Azuki. Pusha T performed at Adam Bomb Squad's event. And that's not to mention others. Sia was seen, Miguel, Diplo, Chromeo, Deadmau5, and many, many more. Isn't that incredible? What conference have you ever been to? And again, these were separate events. None of these were to do with the conference. It's important to know all of these events were put on by companies or NFT projects outside of the conference. But what conference have you ever been to where there's all these separate events? That's why I say it's like the Super Bowl. If you go to the Super Bowl, it's not just the Super Bowl. There is tons of events and activities happening. Well, this is the same thing, because we are all coming together, and there's this community power. There's this underlying layer of community power, which allows these gatherings to happen. And then you've got all these celebrities and artists who, quite frankly, they want to get in the fun, and they are getting in on the fun. They're showing up, they're doing performances, they want to be part of it. It's truly, blow your hat off type of experience to see this firsthand and to realize not only are we so early, we are building something massive. Like I said, 2031 projections, 1 billion wallets, 1 billion. What? That's somewhere around 10 times what there is right now. We are just at the beginning. Now, there is a legitimate question as to what is the real NFT NYC. Is it the conference in Times Square, or all these events hosted by companies or NFT projects? Both have their place in my mind. As I'm not sure one can exist without the other. The conference serves as an important purpose to educate and onboard new people to Web3. Now, I think that the conference could do better next year, but at the same time, throwing a conference for 15,000 people in New York City, of all places, is not simple. My one advice to the conference would be to have 1,500 speakers was way too many. I know of many speakers who backed out of their engagements just because there wasn't the excitement at the conference. A lot of sessions, unfortunately, were low attendance. You walk into a ballroom and there's 10 people there, even though there's seating for 200. That's tough. I feel bad for the speakers. That's tough. I've been in that situation. It's not easy in that situation. But at the same time, all of the events outside of NFT NYC are really, they're for people in the in crowd. And I hate to use the word the in crowd in this space, because we're trying to break down the in crowd. That's the whole purpose of decentralization. But it's true, when you're building communities, when you're building social clubs, there's going to be token gating, right? It's a big part of what we're doing here. We're rewarding our fans. And at the beginning, there's not a ton of communities, so not everyone's in a community yet, right? And that's okay. We'll get there. But you need the conference, because that's the onboarding ramp, right? People can attend the conference who don't yet own an NFT, or who don't own an NFT, which is having an event in New York. But at the same time, all of these events around the conference, all of the energy and excitement, all of these artists, this like music festival like vibe that was happening in New York, that is also as important to this event as the conference itself. That's where a lot of the networking is happening because it's so fun. All those events are so fun, which allows a lot of the networking happening. Now, it's not all for NFT holders. As I said, the Cool Cats event was open to the public, as were others. The Doodles event was also open to the public, but unfortunately the holders line was so long that I don't think the public could ever access it. And there's some growing pains to be had here. But I'll tell you, one thing is for sure, I will be back next year. And I hope you will be too. Now, just to wrap up, if you are going to a conference, please let us know. Post in the Discord. One thing that I learned from going to this conference is the importance of having a tribe at these conferences. It is very helpful to be able to have even just one other friend who you can meet up with, because it's tough to go to a conference alone. And a lot of us are going to these conferences alone. So what we want to do in Web3 Academy is we want to start group chats for every conference where we have any of our members at. So if you're going to a conference, please post in the Discord, whatever conference you're going to, we will start a channel or a thread for that conference and allow others in the community to put up their hand, identify themselves as, hey, I'm going to this as well. And then you've got a little bit of a squad. You got some people to meet up with, and you've got some help, because honestly, like, navigating these conferences is overwhelming. There is so much happening and so much going on. It's so hard to stay on top of it all. I have to give a shout out to the Jump community, which had a great Telegram group of about 30 people sharing, helping each other out, and met up at many different times throughout the conference. Also, shout out to the Zen Academy community, same thing, really supportive, everybody sharing. Even though I didn't meet in person many people in that community, I met as many as I could at some of the events that they hosted, but more so the support of having friends online who can say, hey, here's where I've been, here's what I've done, you got to check this out. You know, that is so, so helpful. So we want to do that with Web3 Academy. Jump into our Discord and share. That's all for today, folks. As I mentioned at the start of the show, we would love to have you in the Web3 Academy DAO if you're interested in getting involved. Every Monday in our Discord, 7 p.m. Eastern, we have a community call where we talk about what we're working on, what's coming up, and what roles and opportunities we have for you to get involved. Also, if you are a project founder, if you have a project, maybe you're not looking to get involved in the Web3 Academy DAO because you're too busy with your own stuff. I know the feeling. Well, we have sandbox sessions that are for you. A sandbox session happens every Thursday in our Discord. And the idea is, if Web3 is a sandbox, what would you build? So one person or a few people who are building something in Web3, or perhaps not quite yet building something, but early stages and looking for feedback, you get to present your idea to a group of 8 to 12 people who will then give you feedback. It is a highly, highly valuable exercise and session for any Web3 doer, founder, operator, builder. You get to come in and you get to get feedback from 8 to 12 experienced Web3 doers from a variety of background. There's devs in that call. There's marketers in that call. There's entrepreneurs, founders in that call, strategy leaders in that call. It's really, really diverse group. And they will directly give you feedback for 1 hour. I can't tell you. I mean, that will ignite your business like several months into the future. You'll probably skip a few months of work by just having that one call. So reach out in the Discord if you want to host a sandbox session. Throw it up in the general chat in the Discord. We'll link you up. We'll get you in there. You can host a sandbox session. That's all, folks. Thanks for listening in. Have a lovely day wherever you are. Thanks for being friends of the Web3 Academy community. I'm beaming ear to ear. I'm fired up. we are building something for the long term. We're so early, man. This is exciting. Have fun today, guys. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Web3 Academy. We hope this helps you along your Web3 journey. And if it does, please share this episode and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. By the way, if you have yet to join the Discord community, you are missing out. This is where all the magic happens. This is where we learn, where we ask questions, where we network. You want to be in there. The link to join is in the description below. And finally, a quick disclaimer. Nothing in this podcast was financial advice. Crypto and Web3 can be risky. You can literally lose it all. In fact, if you invest on account of what we say, you probably will lose it all. So don't do that. In all honesty, the point of this podcast is to remove the noise of markets and price and focus on utility and implementation anyway. So you should not take any of this as financial advice. Thank you, friends, and see you in the next one.